No snakes were harmed in the making of this video. Hello, welcome back to another video by Squdge. It is Elja here and it's Friday, so we're gonna do some resin. Yeah! Now, a very lovely friend of mine has snakes and had a shed. And she shared this absolutely beautiful shed with me. Like, it is a complete head to toe. You've got the tail, you've got the face. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And I have never played with snakeskin before, and I'm so excited to try. So this is a 2-year-old corn snake, and just so pretty. It's so delicate, and you can see all of the beautiful scales on the skin. It is absolutely stunning. Very delicate, but beautiful. And I want to have a go putting it in some resin and seeing how it works. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I have this sort of rectangular mould. I'm literally just going to pour some resin in there, pop a bit of snakeskin on top, then do a second layer of resin. Because what I want to check is how it works in terms of air bubbles, and does it move easily in the resin. So if you ended up touching a mould that way, will the whole thing sway? Will it break? Just how it kind of interacts with the resin is the first thing I want to test. So that's what we're going to do first. So I'm just going to take out a little bit. I'm not going to touch the face or the tail end because I kind of want to keep those to do something special with them. So I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm literally just going to take it out, flatten it, pop it in and see how it reacts with the resin. Then, dependent on the results of that, there are a couple of things I would like to make. So I have a couple of photo frame moulds. Now they're very small photo frames, I have to admit. So they are this sort of size, that's the entire frame. I did make one, surprise surprise, in purple to test it. So it is about the size of my hand, so it's not the biggest picture. So this is the rectangular one here. But I do also have a sort of a round, almost geode shaped one, which is about the same size, but obviously a much smaller photo space. So I'm going to try it with the, I think it would look better in the geode style one, but I would like a bigger space for the photo. So we're going to have a go, once we've tested this, at making a photo frame with it. I've also got a couple of other little moulds that I want to test and see how it looks. I'd like to do a dome one to see how the dome reflects and refracts the actual skin. Yeah, there are so many things I want to try, and I'm so excited. But the first thing we're going to do is do this, see how it looks, how it interacts with the resin, and go from there. So if you would like to watch me experiment with some snakeskin and resin, then keep watching. Okay, so I have mixed up my resin and I cut down the snakeskin a little bit to fit the moulds. And then I had any little extra bits, which are those 2 bits on the side. So I've just put a very thin layer of resin in each of the moulds and swished it to the edges. And then all I'm going to do, these loose bits, I'm just going to put resin over the top. I just want to see how that looks if I just cover the top with a thin layer. I'm going to give it a quick blast with the heat gun to get rid of any bubbles before I put the snakeskin in. Then I'm going to start at one end, and I'm just going to lay one end in and slowly push out the bubbles as I go along using my little spatula. Same thing for the round one. And then I am going to just adjust them, try and pull out any bubbles. And then I'm just going to pour a last little bit, only in the long mould, a last little bit of resin over the top. On the circular one, I'm just putting resin down the sides to use up the resin. And then I'm just going to pop out any bubbles that may have appeared under the skin. And we're going to leave this to cure. Exciting times. Okay, I apologise, there are dogs barking outside. Sorry. Okay, so I got what's the word? I was impatient, so I did lift up this first piece, and I will grab a picture to put on for you. So it does have some bubbles. There are quite a few bubbles within this piece, but yeah. Let's do this one. This one is still attached to the mat, as you can see. So just wait. Try and carefully lift this up without breaking it. Because there we go. Okay. So this one's really cool actually. There is one bubble on the back, but it's actually an open gap. The rest is really nicely done. That's really pretty. Okay, so this one is the one where I put resin over the top as well as underneath. So I poured the resin in, put the snakeskin in, and then we put the last bits of resin over the top. Now, there are quite a few bubbles with this, and I can't tell. You feel like a lot of them are underneath the skin. There are some larger bubbles that you can see, and there is like a haze of micro bubbles. So I'm thinking what I might have to do is, I'm going to check the other one in a second, is do another experiment using the slow cure resin, so the casting resin, to see if those micro bubbles that are caused by adding the snakeskin will dissipate. But let's check the last one. So this one doesn't have resin on top. This just was the resin added, and then I added the snakeskin on top, and you can feel the texture. That's so cool. Like, you can see it as I shine it. You've got a very smooth shiny, and then you have the texture, and then you have a smooth shiny. That is really freaking cool. Well, there's a hair in it, but I can sort that out. Yeah, that is really cool. There are, just hold it up to the window. There are a lot less bubbles. There are bubbles in a lot of the actual segments, like each of the scales that you can see. Some of them have very small little bubbles in them, but that one has definitely come out better than that one, and I don't know if it's because of the part of the skin. So this one's obviously usually on the belly, where you've got the longer, thinner sections, and this one is the generalised skin, the way you see more over the body. So I don't know if this one, the bubbles are just more clear because they're larger segments. This one you can't see them as much because they're smaller segments. Whether I should have done this and then put resin over the top. So as I say, this one is really well done. It is obviously a very small piece, but this one is really cool. So what it might be worth doing is putting the snakeskin out, layering it on top, turning it over, doing the same thing on the back. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to do some more playing with this. I'll add some pictures in. Let me know what you think, or if anyone has used snakeskin within resin, please. I mean, this one is so bubbly, this little one. But this bit of skin had to be stretched out because it was folding up on itself. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to have a think, process what I've been looking at, and then I think we'll do another video in a couple of weeks perhaps, where we use the slower curing resin. So I'll use a slow cure one to try and dissipate those mini bubbles, and I think I'll do it like this one probably, where I pour resin, put the snakeskin in, let it cure, and then add resin over the top and see if that helps with the bubbles or not. Yeah, this is so cool. This is so exciting. I'm so happy. So these are not going to be thrown away. These ones I'm going to keep because they can be put inside other pieces of resin. This one I'm going to probably keep as the disc, and I'll use it inside something else because again, this resin won't be seen. I'm going to just sand where I've got this hair. I'm just going to sand that out. And then this one is pretty good to go in any other shape as well. Obviously it needs to be something that's longer, but that could work really nicely in other things. And if needs be, I can get the sander out and kind of sand down to the size of the skin. So I'm going to keep those for future projects. But yeah, that was really fun to do. If you've worked with snakeskin or anything similar, please let me know down in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Again, if you'd like me to see me do more experiments, let me know down in the comments. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do a sort of papery, mixed media-y, home decor style things on a Tuesday. On a Friday I do resin, and then from time to time I do my design team projects as well. Yeah, this has been so interesting to figure out what works and what doesn't, and I cannot wait to do some more. So yeah, thank you very much for spending time with me today, guys. Keep crafting, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!